Now, we all know that AI is transforming the world of events, but do you know just what you can do with the technology? I'm joined today by McNeel Keenan, Vice President of Product Management at Cvent, to talk all about the innovations coming to Cvent's event solutions. McNeel, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Glad to be here.
So can you start off by telling us what are the main shifts or focus really driving the product roadmap for Event Cloud?
Yeah, so certainly AI is a hot topic. In June, we launched CventIQ, which kind of combines Cvent's technology, expertise, and of course, AI to drive, really to help us solve problems on behalf of our customers in different ways, right? It's an enabling technology, an incredible enabling technology that allows us to still solve some of the same problems that we had set out to solve originally, even years ago. Sometimes, though, it even unlocks new problems to solve that maybe weren't even feasible in the past. So that's certainly a big trend. Every week that goes by, we have more and more people at Cvent working on AI-first solutions. But still, we're focused on not just AI for AI's sake. We're focused on what are the jobs our customers do, what problems can we solve for them, and really, that's another technology we can do it. So that's certainly a trend that we think about every day, and it's unlocking some really new, interesting opportunities.
Yeah, AI is a big one, and we're definitely going to come back to that. But first of all, I wanted to swing to Cvent Essentials. Now, we officially launched that this year. Can you tell us a little bit about the background behind developing Essentials and what it means for the way we run events today?
Sure, so we are really excited about Cvent Essentials. One of the problems, or one of the questions we always ask customers is, why don't you put all of your events on Cvent? And the answers didn't necessarily surprise us. There were many reasons that made perfect sense. Hey, Cvent's the gold standard for our most important event of the year, but we only have so many people trained on Cvent, and more events on Cvent means more work for that team, and they're out of bandwidth. Or maybe, quite frankly, the price didn't make sense. It makes sense for a multi-day, multi-track conference, didn't make so much sense for a single-day, single-track, smaller event. Or it might have simply been ease of use. It just took too long to build and launch a site for a simpler event. And so those were the problems we set out to solve. And we took a pretty radical approach. We didn't just turn off some features of our core event management platform that everyone knows. We built a new experience from the ground up for event creators, for program administrators, even for on-site staff, to make sure we really thought about what's going to be critical for these users that maybe aren't going to be the Cvent experts. And so how do we help those central teams empower the field to ultimately self-serve management events at Cvent without any training, with an easy-to-use experience, but not just that, because managing a simple event, first of all, there's no such thing as a simple event, wasn't the end goal. It was managing the complexity of running hundreds or thousands of those events a year. And so we also invested a lot into program-level templates around branding, design, data capture, data privacy, security, so that the central team can define the guardrails to make sure that everyone that's using Cvent is going to be successful, and the program's going to be more impactful, and the central teams can have the visibility they want and the insights. So it's a long-winded answer of kind of why we built it. It took us a few years, and we launched in beta in June of 24. We were excited to announce general availability in June of 25. And we've been really excited by the early traction and feedback we've gotten by our customers that are really just getting started for real in the second half of this year.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? What has the reaction been from our customers?
Yeah, I think it's ultimately been, this is what we've been looking for, in that we have so many events that are unmanaged. And to some extent, the conversations have been surprising in that we routinely see our customers underestimate the number of events that are run in their organization. There's a set of managed events, there's a set of known unmanaged events, and then there's an unknown unmanaged events. Just events are happening all over the place, whether it's an executive assistant, a field marketing or event team running events abroad, whether it's a side event, like an activation alongside a third-party hosted event, it's an internal meeting. Events seemingly grow on trees in an organization, and Essentials has a chance to add value to those events, but also add visibility to those. So certainly that's been a new opportunity people are looking to tackle going forward.
Now, another big announcement in addition to Essentials is obviously CventIQ. So can you tell us a little bit about what CventIQ is and how it ties everything together within the Cvent platform?
Yeah, so certainly, again, it combines our technology, our industry expertise and experience of building a leading software provider in the event space for the last 25 years, and of course, generative AI. And it integrates it into our workflows. It helps our customers get the most out of their data which there's a lot of it when you look across an event program. So we really see 4 opportunities. Number 1, we can save our users a lot of time. We can make our users more efficient. 2, we can unlock more insights from all the data they have, which that itself takes a lot of time today to get insights. That should be made a lot quicker with CventIQ. Not only that, about saving time and insights, but we've seen a lot of patterns in the data, and people are looking for best practices. They want to know, how am I performing against other people in my industry or against other events best in class that you see? Number 3, let's talk about personalization. Certainly, people go to great lengths to segment the attendee experience for different groups, the VIPs or the staff or return attendees, those types of things. Now, AI can take it a step further, making segmentation available to segments of 1. So every single attendee should have a unique, bespoke experience, and that's what's going to maximize attendee engagement. AI and CventIQ is what helps you get there. And finally, collaboration. No in-person event happens without a great relationship with a venue and vendor partner. Literally, we live in the real world, we live in the physical world, and every event's got to be at a venue. So AI is taking friction out of the marketplace to help you discover those venues and helping you better collaborate, from everything from a diagram to a room block and everything in between.
I'm so glad that you touched on collaboration, because I really wanted to dive into that a little bit more, as to that's something we're always striving at Cvent to improve. So how do this set of product innovations help with that collaboration even more?
Yeah, so think about when it comes to things like leisure travel, everyone's used to going on to an online booking tool, whether it's Kayak or Google, and at one click, booking their room and having their stay for the weekend. At the event space, not so much, right? It's complex. We're talking about 5, 6, 7-figure engagements. We're talking about a lot of different dimensions of an event. We're talking about different bids and contracting and invoicing and expense tracking. It's a complex space. There's a lot of back and forth. And in that space where there's a lot of manual effort, AI can be there to take that out. So let's take a couple examples. One, the back and forth of just getting a bid from a venue. If you don't provide the most information you have, or high quality RFP, chances are you're gonna have a longer conversation, because your venues are all asking clarifying questions over and over again. Same thing goes for the venue response. If they're responding with minimal information, A, they may not get the business, or B, it's going to require a lot of questions back from the event organizer. And so how can CventIQ help our customers provide the most information with the least effort and enable venues to respond quickly with the most information? And so there's a lot of opportunities. One, we just released AI natural language search, and a second, we have a beta for agenda building. So one of the things you need as a venue to respond with an accurate quote is, what's your agenda? Are we going to be running 3 breakfasts or 5? Are we going to be running 6? Are we going to run 1 breakfast for your VIPs, a different breakfast for your staff, and a different breakfast for this? Great. That takes a long time to type out 100 line items of an agenda. Now you can tell AI what you want, even import an Excel sheet. We'll fill it all out for you. So just one simple example of getting friction out of that marketplace.
That's really exciting. And just sticking on the theme of AI then, one thing that I was personally really excited to see released was the feature around session takeaways and session summarization. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about that and what it means for the attendee experience?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. Certainly, we call it session snapshots, and we've always been looking at ways we can help increase engagement inside the session room. So it's not enough to just provide great recommendations and then hope the speaker carries the day. So we facilitate things like Q&A and polling and help you capture session feedback, all well and good, but a fairly trodden path. So we could take it to the next level. So what do we allow you to do? We allow event organizers to tap into the soundboard so that we can listen to what the speaker's saying. We generate a live transcript, and the attendee can follow on that transcript, and then we're going to generate a summary of what the speaker said for that session. So now anybody can go back, not only see the description, which is probably light, they'll see a great summary. If they happen to miss that session because they couldn't be in 2 places at one time, they can see the summary and say, you know what, I'm going to watch the on-demand video. That looks like that was a really good session. Now, all well and good, but that's not that cool. The cool stuff is the next part. What happens when attendees hear something they like? What do? Traditionally, you have a notepad, you scribble down a note. What happens when you see something that you like? Take out your phone, take a blurry picture from the back of the room. Probably never going to look at that picture again, but at least you captured the quote or the chart or whatever it may be. Now all that goes away. You see, hear something you like, tap a button. We're going to grab a transcript from the last 40 seconds, the next 20 seconds, maybe they didn't finish the thought just yet. We're going to summarize what was in that 60-second transcript, with a nice little paragraph summary generated with AI. We're going to put a label on it. You don't even need to label it. So then you're going to have a collection of all these snapshots of the key moments that you found compelling. But not just that, at the time you press that button, we're going to grab a screenshot of what was on the screen at the time. Now, you might be saying, I saw stuff like that in 2015, 10 years ago. None of my speakers wanted to use it. They had to use proprietary presentation software. None of that either. Nothing needs to change. Your presenters can keep using PowerPoint or whatever they're using. There's really no setup required other than logging into our live display, typing in a code, clicking record, and we're going to be listening and watching the presentation so we can generate those snapshots. It's available today in an open beta, so just talk to your account manager and anybody can get in and start using it.
That is super exciting. I feel like that is going to change the game for sure.
Yeah, thinking about changing the game, that's just talking about the attendee experience. What if we could give speakers a summary every time they saw people holding up their camera and said, oh man, this slide really resonated? Or an event organizer wants to know, hey, what topics is my audience interested in? I want to know what they're interested in that room. I want to know what they're interested in across every room at my event, maybe even across every event in my event program. So now I know what topics are trending based on literally what people are writing down. And I might even curate the content of my next webinar, my next breakout session at my conference, based on what's trending and maybe what's not. So it's going to inform a lot of your content strategy going forward by literally people voting with what they save.
I love that. Coming from a content background myself, having that level of insight to be able to then shape next year programming would be so amazing.
For sure, we're excited about it.
Yeah. So to wrap up then, what would you say most excites you about the future of Cvent's event marketing and management software?
We're trying to make sure that we're not married to our interfaces or our workflows, but ultimately to the key value that we're driving for our customers, and that's just the problems that we're solving. We're excited about transforming these user experiences. For example, on the attendee side, we see a world where we're moving from event apps to event assistants. And the opportunities that unlocks to really transform an attendee experience at an event is super exciting. Easier said than done. Just got done with our partner summit earlier yesterday and talking a lot about, hey, a chatbot, everybody's starting to do chatbots. Easier said than done. We have to engineer a lot of context to make sure we're building trust with the audience, and they trust these recommendations that are going to come. So it involves a lot of data, it involves a lot of thought, and it involves a lot of information. And so we're making sure we do it carefully so we don't lose the trust of the audience, we don't lose the trust of our planners. But we're also excited by just really how radically this can shift the user interface and how people access their data, how they manage their events, and we're excited to lead the way there.
There's so much exciting stuff happening, so thank you so much for sharing just a little bit of that with us, McNeel.
Thank you very much. Excited to join you.